Hey everybody, my name is Kyle Knott, and I am not your average finance guy. I had a question the other day that someone came to me and said that they had a little bit of cancer in their past, and now they're basically uninsurable. That the insurance company, life insurance companies, wouldn't look at them, and because of that blip on their medical records. Now, this person is fine. They had a little cancer. It was removed. This has been years back, and everything is fine. Obviously, they get their checkups, and all is good there. But they're kind of asking me about this infinite banking policies, and it's like, well, what you need is life insurance to what it goes down to, and especially design whole life policy. What if you can't do that? What if your life is to the point where the insurance companies won't give you any insurance on it? Do you have any insurable interests? Okay. What is an insurable interest? Parent, a child, sibling, spouse, a business partner. I did a couple of years back is I put a very small infinite banking policy on each one of my children. Now they were young enough, and hopefully, knock on wood, that they stay nice and healthy. But should anything ever happen to them, they have life insurance in place on their life. Now, maybe something happens to them, hopefully like this other guy, hopefully nothing happens, but if something does, that if there's a little bit of a scare, they're good to go. They get it all taken care of, and they go on and live a long, productive life. Well, if that happens, they now have life insurance on their life. They have a vehicle that I can pass to them at some point. But here's the deal. I own it, okay? It's on their life. But if I want to go take a loan against that policy, I go take a loan against the policy. They don't own it. They can't take a loan against it until if I decide to give it to them, or however that works on down the road. They're young enough now that they don't really know what's going on, and they have a little bit of idea of what I kind of do here and what I preach, but they don't really understand it at this point. So if your life had something in the past and you're no longer insurable, maybe even your parents. Obviously, the younger it is with the insurance aspect of it, the more efficient it will be. So I would go to your children first, but there's only so much insurance you can put on the life of a child because they don't really make any money. They don't provide for anybody. So it's hard to get a huge policy on a child. But your parents, that's definitely a possibility, because remember, we try to strip as much we try to strip as much of the insurance away and build up the cash value. So it's not unheard of that you policy on your parents. Your sibling, maybe if something happened to me and I'm not insurable, I could go to my wife and we could put a policy on her life. Maybe it's your spouse, your sibling. If I went to, my sister, or if you've got brothers or sisters, something like that, could use it's an insurable interest, that you could put an insurance policy on them, and you could start your own infinite banking policy on the life of someone else. Yes, this is a life insurance product policy. It doesn't have to be on your life. It can be on any of these. A business partner, if you've got a business partner or something, I would almost look like, even if you're not doing the infinite banking route, you should probably look at putting a life insurance policy on your business partner. Say there's two people, and what if one of them gets hit by, literally the proverbially gets hit by a bus? What happens now? There's one guy left, one person left in the business. Well, what about this one's family? If he passed away, their family, their husband, wife, kids, whatever, they would like to get something from the business. So if the business kind of has this agreement where it's called a buy-sell agreement, or however you want to do it, but you should insure the life of your business partner. That way, if this person were to pass away, then there's a life insurance policy that comes due that gives their shares of the business over to you with a nice benefit, and that way the insurance policy will buy their part of the business out. So their family is left with the money, you're left with the business, and now hopefully, obviously, it's not going to go very well because you just lost your business partner, but hopefully you can figure out how to run things and keep it all going just by yourself. So things to think about that, I want to, like, well, none of this pertains to me because I can't get life insurance, so boom, I'm off to the next one. It's like, well, no, that's not true. As long as you have someone around you with an insurable interest, that's the big thing. And if you have any questions, hit me up, let me know, and I'd be happy to help you out to, help you find out if they're an insurable interest or not. So that is one requirement that the insurance companies take. Like, I can't go take out a policy on somebody across town that I don't know and what I have nothing to lose or gain on their life. I would have something to gain if I have a policy. So that's kind of why they don't like to do this. If I know they're going to die somehow and I take out a policy against some complete stranger and they happen to die, then I make money. That's all going to look a little fishy, and people like to end up behind bars. So can't do that. But if you have an insurable interest on another life, you absolutely can get this whole IBC policy started that I'm making all these videos on, and you can do very well with it. So hope this helps. Let me know if you got any questions. Here to help, and good luck, everybody.